amongst all of you devotees at Avatari Desh once again in an online mode now because of the inconceivable circumstances created by the Lord. So now we will start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees. Today we'll discuss some things that are very favorable for our advancement in bhakti and some things that we are supposed to avoid and are not very favorable for advancement in bhakti. So, time to time, we need to sit and discuss what is good for our devotional progress and what is not good for our spiritual progress. So, thus, by regularly reminding each other about the favorable and unfavorable practices and attitudes and habits in bhakti, we can steadily progress in bhakti. As we all know, Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. By regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, our anarthas will be destroyed. Then also, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishthiki means Nishtha means steadiness. So when our sadhana, when our swadhyaya, when our seva, when our overall spiritual practices are not very steady, then what makes our practices steady? So simple. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. By regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, our unsteady practice of bhakti will become more steady. Our unsteady practice of devotional service will become more disciplined, more streamlined, more steady by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. And that regular Shravanam of Srimad Bhagavatam also destroys our abhadras or anarthas. So now we have seen the examples of so many great devotees who are successful in adopting whatever is favorable for bhakti and avoiding whatever is unfavorable for bhakti. Adopting whatever is favorable, avoiding whatever is unfavorable. In Sanskrit, it is called anukulyasya sankalpam pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever is anukul for our bhakti, accept it, adopt it, implement it. Whatever is pratikul for our bhakti, whatever is not favorable for our bhakti, stay away from it. Right? So, anukulyasya sankalpam. Now, this favorable and unfavorable things can be of multiple categories. One, objects, favorable objects, unfavorable objects. Second, people, favorable people, unfavorable people. In the association of some people, we become very encouraged to practice bhakti. We become more and more rooted and fixed up in our spiritual practices. Their association definitely uplifts our consciousness. Hearing from them, talking to them, and serving them, and regularly being in touch with them. So that is very much uh, inspires us to continue the practice of bhakti. Right? That is called favorable association. In other words, satsanga. But there is asatsanga also, unfavorable association. Unfavorable association is that which dampens our enthusiasm in bhakti. Hmm. And if somebody is critical about devotees, if somebody constantly talks about mundane materialistic topics, that's an unfavorable association, right? Kukathamati ghanihi. When we are hearing topics that are disconnected from bhakti, they distract us from bhakti. Mhm. They distract us from our sadhana. Non-devotional topics. Kokatha matighni, bad topics, materialistic topics, matighni. They they corrupt the mind, right? So whether it is hearing certain topics or associating with certain people or adopting certain objects and avoiding certain objects, or it is food items or places, all this can be favorable, can be unfavorable. Going to certain place will inspire us in devotion. But if we go to certain places, oh my God, that will distract us from devotion. Certain areas are there, they're surcharged with spiritual vibrations. A dham. Have you ever visited Srila Prabhupada's room in some temple? Many temples, uh, they preserve Prabhupada's room and Prabhupada's paraphernalia nicely. Hmm. If you go to Juhu in Mumbai, there is on top floor, there is a beautiful room of Prabhupada where all the cards and dresses and many things that Prabhupada has used are preserved nicely. If you go to Melbourne in Australia, there also there is beautiful Prabhupada's room. If you go and chant there, the quality of rounds also will increase. And similarly, in America also there are multiple places where Prabhupada has visited. So devotee has preserved those memories. So an acharya, if you go to Rupa Goswami Samadhi or Sanatan Goswami Samadhi or the Goswami's Bhajan Kutir or Vishnu Chakravarti Samadhi in Vrindavan, and what to speak of temples and dhams. So when you go to such places, definitely there are some spiritual vibrations there, and that those vibrations will inspire us to perform bhakti nicely, right? But if you go to certain places like movie theaters or some places where meat is served, some places where alcohol is consumed, so those places are filthy places, they will definitely, they're not favorable for spiritual progress, definitely, right? So we need to constantly discriminate between what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is favorable for bhakti, what is unfavorable for bhakti. Hmm. Anukulyasya sankalpam pratikulyasya varjanam. Now, in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful episode of Narada Muni. In his past life, Narada Muni was the son of a maidservant. And although he was the son of a maidservant with hardly any privileges or education or money or beauty or cultural background or great lineage or dynasty, he doesn't have any of these privileges. And he doesn't have age also, mature age also. At the time, he was a 5-year-old child. 5-year-old child. Still, as all of us know, because of the association of the Bhaktivedanta sages for about 4 months during the monsoon season, this 5-year-old child, son of maid servant, became so advanced in spiritual life, became so advanced in bhakti, mhm, that he came to prema stage. His Shraddha began when he started hearing from the sages of the Bhaktivedanta sages during the monsoon. So, his Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, all of these stages of bhakti, he passed through all the stages of bhakti very effectively, very sincerely, and he came to Prema stage in their association, in their uplifting association. He definitely had certain qualities which are very much favorable for advancement in bhakti. He was not talkative. He was not mischievous. He was not attached to different sports. Although he is coming from a very poor and humble background, he has very good receptivity to spiritual teachings. So he was sitting with the sages of this Bhaktivedanta sages and hearing their Harikatha, participating in their spiritual discussions, and rendering whatever services he could to them. Thus, eventually, he became very, very advanced in bhakti, very, very exalted in his devotional service, and he came to prema stage at such a young age, right? Now, this boy, this wonderful 5-year-old child who came to prema stage in such a young age, so he had a calamity in his life. After the sages left, after this 4 months of rainy season, after the sages left, something unexpected happened. His mother died because of a snake bite. He was the only child of his mother, and his mother is the only maintainer. 5-year-old child, he's dependent completely on the mother, and the mother is also fully emotionally attached to the child. And their loving bonding is very beautifully described in the Bhagavatam, in the by Narada Muni himself. But unfortunately, mother died because of a snake bite when she went out to milk a cow in the evening time. But the death of the mother did not discourage or disappoint or demotivate this child. Definitely, when some near and dear ones depart, that is emotionally very difficult situation for anybody, any human being. But and on top of it, this person is a 5-year-old child with no other protector. Father is nowhere mentioned, no relatives, no friends, no family members. Only one mother was there, and she also was taken away by the Lord. So, in such a situation, some people could become very negative minded. They may question, is Lord really merciful? I am worshipping him, I am chanting his names. How could he create such a calamity in my life? What mistake have I done? What sinful activity have I done? 5-year-old child. And seeing him, others also can question the Lord. Mhm. But you know what Prabhupada writes in the purport? Very beautiful. This is the way of dragging a sincere soul towards the lotus feet of Krishna. What? Is this the way? Is this the way of dragging a sincere soul towards the lotus feet of Krishna by killing his mother when he was just 5-year-old boy? Prabhupada writes, yes, this is the way of dragging a sincere soul towards the lotus feet of Krishna. How? You see, our material vision can see what is visible to our external eyes, and our material mind can interpret it in material terms only. But Krishna has his own spiritual calculations in doing whatever he's doing. So, what is the spiritual calculation behind this event where the Lord allowed his mother to die and the 5-year-old child has become an orphan? Just as this child rendered some service to the Bhaktivedanta sages, the mother also must have rendered so much service to the Bhaktivedanta sages, isn't it? The child did some seva. Mother also must have done more seva than the child, obviously. After having rendered service to Bhaktivedanta sages for 4 months and dying after that, where will she go? She'll go to the spiritual world. Okay, fine. Even if she doesn't go to the spiritual world, she will enter another human body, another body, some material body, quote unquote. But in that next life, she will definitely have an opportunity to continue her devotional service. The Lord must have arranged another life for her where she can continue the practice of bhakti nicely in a more peaceful situation. Now she's in a very wretched condition where she has to work in different homes to get little bit of money or livelihood to maintain her child. Lot of anxiety, lot of financial issue, this and that. So Krishna must have definitely placed her in a better situation so that she can continue practice of bhakti nicely. We need to have trust. नेहाभिक्रमणासोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya, even little bit of devotional service you do, even slight amount of bhakti we do, will protect us from the greatest danger. The greatest danger is not death. The greatest danger is gliding down to lower species. The greatest danger is losing inspiration in bhakti. The greatest danger is getting distracted or deviated from the path of Krishna consciousness. The greatest danger is not death. The greatest danger is not losing money or losing fame or losing prestige. Losing Krishna consciousness is the greatest danger. And swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. When Krishna said, even if you do little bit of bhakti, I will protect you from the greatest danger. What does it mean? Even if you do little bit of bhakti, I will protect you from any distractions or deviations in your bhakti. Even if you misuse your independence and get distracted or deviated from bhakti, I will ensure that you will come back. And even the shock that I'm giving, or some trouble or calamity that I'm giving you, is only meant to bring you back to bhakti. Right? So definitely based on the Siddhanta philosophy that we have understood from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we can safely assume, quote unquote, assume that this lady who must have died, this maid servant who had died, different setup, probably in a more comfortable setup. Or maybe she must have gone back to Godhead also. Who knows? Okay, fine. Mother went on her spiritual journey. What happened to the child? 5-year-old child, right? Little 5-year-old child. No mother, no father, no relatives, no elders to take care. And this 5-year-old child became so advanced in bhakti. He served Bhakti Vedantas, he associated with them, and he did so much service. And he came to Prema stage in bhakti. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarthanavati. He passed through all these stages and came to Bhava and Prema stage also. Now his material shelter is taken away. How is it a favor to this child? Answer is that this boy was not only bestowed an opportunity to perform bhakti, he's also given a divine maturity by which he can see misery as mercy of Krishna. Misery is seen as mercy of Krishna. Mature devotees, maturity in spiritual life is to see misery as mercy of Krishna. Tapatrayas, unmulanam. A devotee is unaffected by uh, a devotee is unaffected by calamities in one's life, the way materialistic people get affected. When there is a difficulty, when there is a calamity expected happening in life, a normal person may be devastated by such an experience, but a devotee doesn't get devastated. A devotee feels, okay, this is Krishna's plan. This is Krishna's plan, and he arranged this inconvenience in my life so that I become more serious in my bhakti. Inconvenience, if it causes seriousness in bhakti, then that inconvenience is invited. Just as Kunti Mata says, Vipadaha santu taha shashvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yasyata punarbhava darshanam. Kunti Maharani had an experience of seeing Krishna whenever she had some difficulty in life. Therefore, she says, Krishna, let me have more difficulties so that I can see you more. So, here, difficulty is favorable for bhakti, luxury is unfavorable for bhakti. Many times we think that when I have luxuries, I can do bhakti better. When I have difficulties, that distracts me from bhakti. That may be true also for some people, but it's not about difficulty or luxury. It's not about happiness or distress. It's about the way we perceive it. For a very humble devotee, luxury is not a distraction in bhakti. And uh, and for uh, a pure devotee, difficulty is also not a distraction in bhakti. Neither difficulty both are not distractions in bhakti, both are opportunities to intensify one's bhakti, right? So let's intensify our bhakti. That's the whole point. Mm. Every unexpected happening in life gives us an opportunity to come closer to Krishna. We have that maturity, and this boy had that maturity. And this boy went to mm, the forest. He went to the forest and he was uh, for places. And finally, at one point, he became very, very tired, fatigued, thirsty, and he took some water in a pond and he sat under a tree and he started meditating on the Lord. Let me show you some pictures. Yeah. See, this boy became very thirsty, fatigued. He drank some water and took a bath and meditated on the Supreme Lord sitting under a tree. In that meditation, he was able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada writes in the purport, one should not meditate according to one's personal whims. One should know perfectly well from the authoritative sources of scriptures through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master and by proper use of one's trained intelligence for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. So this boy was taught how to meditate on the Lord by the sages, Bhaktivedanta sages. Therefore, he knows the art of meditation. He knows the right way of meditation, right? So, by following the method taught by his gurus, the Bhaktivedanta sages, he started meditating. And in that meditation, he has seen the Lord. ध्यायतश्चरणाम्भोजं भावनिर्जितचेतसा औत्कण्ठ्याश्रुकलाक्षस्य हृद्यासीन्मेषणैर्हरिः ध्यायतः चरणाम्भोजं. Dhyayatah means he's doing dhyana, he's meditating. On what? Charanambojam, on the lotus feet of the Lord. And it's not a mechanical kind of meditation. Bhakta chetasaha, his chetasa, his consciousness is completely overwhelmed by bhava, devotional emotion. Bhava nirjita chetasaha. Outkanthya shrukalakshasya. Outkanthya. He became very anxious. And ashrukalakshasya means his eyes are filled with tears. So with tears, with deep devotional emotion, he is meditating on the Lord. And Hridi Asin me Shanair Harihi. Hridi means heart. In his heart, he could see Lord Hari's form. And he had tears in his eyes. And thus, this boy was bestowed uh, uh, the darshan of the Supreme Lord. He was able to see the beautiful form of the Supreme Lord. योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. Yo antaha pravisya, the Lord enters within our hearts. And mama vacha mimam prasuptam, he will make one's senses enlivened, whether it is sense of speech or hands or legs or whatever, karmendriyas, gyanendriyas, all these are enlivened by the presence of the Supreme Lord, by the entrance of the Supreme Lord in our hearts. Was able to uh, was able to meditate on the Lord, see the beautiful form of the Lord. But and there's a long gap. You're going to Mayapur after 10 years. You're very eager, very excited. Just ran towards Radha Madhav altar and you just got a glimpse of darshan. But within half a minute, darshan is closed. After Rajbhog Aarti, whatever. And they said, next darshan is after 3 hours. Oh, I have to catch a bus in 2 hours. I will miss only half-minute darshan. Right? So it's very disappointing, right? And this boy has seen the darshan of the Lord, not the deity form of the Lord, but within his heart, right? There was no deity in front of him. There was no painting. It's not that he has stored, 100 wallpapers of Radha Madhav in his phone, smartphone, iPhone. No. He could see the Lord only within his heart. And within his heart, he was able to beautifully take darshan of the Lord, but suddenly darshan is closed. He could not see the Lord anymore. He was perturbed. Again, he continued to meditate on the Lord in the same procedure, with same concentration, with same effort. Still, he could not see the Lord. What does it mean? We may put some effort. With great sincerity, we may put some effort to see the Lord, but unless the Lord sanctions, we will not get darshan. The Lord has to approve our efforts. You may have your parishrama, but unless He shows His kripa, then the result is not obtained. So This boy put an effort and he saw the Lord. But the Lord stopped showing himself. Again, the boy put the same effort, but he could not see the Lord now. You see? So, seeing the Lord is not just a result of our own efforts, it is also a result of Krishna's sanction, Krishna's approval, Krishna's grace, right? So, Prabhupada writes, you cannot demand the Lord. Whenever the Lord wants to show, he will show. You cannot demand Guru for giving you attention. The Guru gives us attention, okay, fine. Take that as a blessing. But we cannot demand spiritual master. We cannot demand Krishna. We cannot demand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We cannot demand Guru or Krishna to give us attention. When they give us attention, in reciprocation with our effort, yes, we'll take it as a blessing. But although we are putting a lot of effort, still they don't give us attention. Fine, wait. That's all. What else can you do? You need to just wait. You can't demand. Proper rights. Okay. Because this boy is attempting so much, then the Lord started speaking. Video was not visible, but audio was there. Right? Sometimes in Zoom calls, devotees don't keep on their videos, but they want to ask a question or speak something, they unmute themselves and speak. Audio is heard, but video is not seen. Uh, Now this boy also, he could not see the video of the Lord. He could only see the audio of the Lord. He can only hear the audio of the Lord. What was the audio? The Lord said, "My dear child, no more darshans for you for the rest of your life." Can you just imagine? We'll not keep on our videos for the rest of the class, right? For all the classes. So something like, of course, this is different. So the boy could hear that the Lord chose not to uh, give him darshan for the rest of his life. No more darshans for you in your life. Now you may think this boy went to prema stage. He became so advanced in bhakti that he attained love of God. He was in prema stage, not in bhava stage, not in anartha nivritti stage. Many sadhakas are stuck in anartha nivritti level only, but this boy passed through anartha nivritti, nishta, asakti, bhava, ruchi, bhava, prema. He came to prema stage, but the Lord says, "You can't see me." How is it possible? Then the Lord, you know what he said? Uh, you are not completely purified of your material taints. Still, some material tinges are there in you. Hmm. So I will not give you darshan. How can there be any material taints on the level of prema? He is on the level of prema, right? On the level of bhava, still there are some traces of anarthas. But on the level of prema, there should not be any anarthas. But why did the Lord say material taints? Vishnu Thakur says that the Lord said material taints only to increase the humility of this boy. He does not have material taints. Hmm. Only to increase his humility. But what exactly is the Lord's intention? Okay, to make him humble, fine. But there should be a deeper intention behind the Lord. He already became prema, came to prema level. And at prema level, there is dainya also, humility also. But the Lord is thinking that this child's prema is in an infancy level. It has not yet fully developed into youthful prema. So, in a child, 5-year-old child, there is some prema. In a youthful personality, also there is prema. But the youthful prema is more developed. We are not talking about the age factor here. This boy is 5-year-old child, but we are not talking about the age factor. We are talking about the development of prema. So there is a preliminary stage of prema where you cannot fully experience the madhurya, sweetness of the Lord. But there is a very advanced stage of prema where you can completely relish the sweetness of the Lord. So, नामानि प्रणयेन ते सुकृतिनां तन्वन्ति तुण्डोत्सवम् धामानि प्रथयन्ति हन्त जलदा श्यामानि नेत्राञ्जनम् सामानि श्रुतिशष्कुलिं मुरळिका जातान्यलङ्कुर्वते कामानि वृतचेतसामिह विभो नाशामि न शोभते. Namani pranayena te sukritinam tanvanti tundotsavam. When we are chanting the names of the Lord, uh, the holy name of the Lord, which is dancing on our tongues, should make us so overwhelmed. When a devotee is very sufficiently advanced in bhakti, they become so overwhelmed with uh, chanting the holy name of the Lord that it's like an utsava for them. Tanvanti Tundotsavam. They feel that it's a great celebration to keep, to allow the name of Krishna dance on our tongues. That's their mood. Mhm. Namani pranayena te sukrutinam tanvanti tundotsavam. Like in the preliminary stages of bhakti, one will begin to chant the names of the Lord as a practice, as an obligation. Even if they don't have taste, they practice Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare. They're dozing off. Again, they'll get up, Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare. They'll sprinkle some water on their eyes and then say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But when you come to higher stages of bhakti, no need to sprinkle water on the eyes. You don't sleep. You chant with concentration. But after some time, water comes from the ice, right? You don't have to sprinkle water on the ice to avoid sleep. When you're chanting the names of the Lord, water automatically comes from the ice. Drops of water will come. That is out of ecstasy, out of love, out of prema. But when the love or prema for the Lord increases even more, water drops don't come. Water comes like syringe. You see Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antyalila, when Mahaprabhu is in Mahabhava, the water is coming from his eyes as if like there's a sprinkler, not drops. Sometimes when we also become little emotional, we may get some drops, maybe few drops, maybe one drop. When the emotion is increased, few more drops. When emotion is more increased, many more drops. But have you ever seen somebody crying like rainfall falling, sprinkler coming out, syringe coming out? That is like advanced levels of prema. Even when you come to prema stage also, in prema there are preliminary stages of prema, higher levels of prema, advanced levels of prema, right? There, it not only water coming out of the eyes, but all other symptoms, goosebumps, mm, hair standing on end. Now also sometimes when we hear something, when we see something, hair stand on end. I think many of us must have experienced. There many devotees here. All of us must have some experience of having some goosebumps once in a while. But how long do they do they in a do they rise? For a moment, for a few seconds. But for Mahaprabhu, they are like thorns on a shimuli tree. Constantly their hairs are rising on end. So the symptoms of ecstasy are very persistent, very constant and consistent in a very advanced premi bhakta. But when the prema is in a preliminary level, they come and go. Or they come, but the manifestation is not very intense. So, in short, the Supreme Lord Vishnu wanted to intensify the prema of this boy, Narada. You are on the prema level, I acknowledge that, but I want to intensify your prema. I want your prema to come to youth level, not infancy level, right? Not in the Balya Avastha or Shishu Avastha. From Shishu Avastha, you come to Balya, you come to Pauganda, you come to Kaishora, you come to Yavana stage. Then it's full growth, right? A Shishu also has two hands and two legs and two eyes and 2 ears, etc. But a grown-up young man who is in Yavana stage, he also has all these limbs. But the limbs of a grown-up young man operate in a much more mature level compared to the limbs of a child. So compare that growth of a child to the growth of prema. The Lord wanted his infancy prema to come to youthful prema, right? So then this boy started continuing to practice bhakti. And how did he practice bhakti? That we will see now. So now we are beginning the class. We are starting the class just now after about 39 minutes of prelude. So our class is on this shloka, supposed to be on this shloka. So Narada Muni himself describes how exactly did he practice. So in his practice, he adopted some things and he avoided some things. Some do's and don'ts were there in his practice. So he practiced bhakti already under the guidance of Bhaktivedanta sages, and he also mm, he came to prema level. After prema level, he got the darshan of the Lord within his heart. But when he lost the darshan, the Lord told, "You continue your practice. You continue to chant my names. You continue to perform bhakti nicely. Then one day you will be able to constantly see me whenever you want." At this moment, your prema is not mature. But when your prema becomes mature, uh, by sincere practice of bhakti, by avoiding certain do's, by avoiding certain don'ts, and adopting certain do's, then you will come to a stage where you can constantly have my darshan, right? Constantly having darshan, right? Next, let us see what is that stage, what is that sadhana stage, what is the stage of, or what are the practices in spiritual life that we need to adopt, and what are things that we need to avoid to come to that mature stage of bhakti. नामान्यनन्तस्य हतत्रपः पठन् गुह्यानि भद्राणि कृतानि च स्मरन् गां पर्यटं स्तुष्टमनागतस्पृहः कालं प्रतीक्षन् विमदो विमत्सरः. So this is the shloka that describes so many do's and don'ts in bhakti. I'm just trying to get a pen. Uh, okay, it's already in pen mode. One second. I want to change the color. Yes. Namani Anantasya. Nama means name of Krishna. Ananta means unlimited. This Ananta refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is unlimited. Why is the Lord called Ananta? The Lord has so many names. One of the names of the Lord is Ananta. Ananta means unlimited. Anta means end. Ananta means that which has no end. The Lord's glories have no end. The Lord's names have no end. The Lord's pastimes, no end. Because there is no end to his opulences or pastimes or everything connected to him, he is also called Ananta. Nahiyantastvad sonanta itigi categories of names, right? So namani anantasya. So this boy is chanting the names of the Lord. He's chanting the unlimited names of the unlimited Lord. That's the first practice. When you say do's and don'ts, right? So first do is chant the names of Krishna always. Namani anantascha. Hatatrapaha. Hatatrapa. Trapa means some shy, some hesitation, right? And have you ever noticed yourself first coming to Hare Krishna? And they are saying, "You dance with us." There's some kind of hesitation, kind of shy, right? Uh, so that hesitation was not there in this boy. But to chant the names of the Lord, hesitation. When you meet somebody, greeting them by saying Hare Krishna, there's some hesitation. So, oh, what will people think of me? Right? In the beginning stages. But now, even in offices, many devotees greet each other as Hare Krishna or greet new people as Hare Krishna. Uh, so that hatatrapaha means without any hesitation, without any shy, without any reservation. Hatatrapaha. Namani anantasya hatatrapaha. Without any hesitation or uh, without any shy, let us chant the holy names of Krishna sincerely. So that is uh, one one thing that we need to adopt. Why specifically chanting the names of the Lord? Narada Muni is expert in chanting. Not only he's expert in chanting, expert in teaching others how to chant. Hmm. So Krishna's names are so beautiful. Krishna's names are so powerful. योगश्रुत्युपपत्तिनिर्जनवना ध्यानाध्वसम्भाविता स्वाराज्यं प्रतिपद्य निर्भयममी मुक्ता भवन्तु द्विजा अस्माकं तु कदम्बकुञ्जकुहरा प्रोन्मीलदिन्दीवरा श्रेणिश्यामलधाम नाम जुषतां जन्मास्तु लक्षावधि. Yoga Shrutya Papattu Nirjanavana Dhyanadva Sambhavita. There are some people who are so absorbed in their dhyana. They're yogis, they're absorbed in dhyana. They must, they may attain liberation, or they may think that they have attained liberation. Let them think so. Let them attain liberation, or let them think that they have attained liberation. No problem. As far as I am concerned, अस्माकं तु कदम्बकुञ्जकुहरा प्रोन्मीलदिन्दीवरा श्रेणिश्यामलधाम नामजुषतां जन्मास्तु लक्षावधि. As far as I am concerned, I am just focused on chanting the names of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Janmastu Lakshavadhi. What is the use of hundreds and thousands and lakhs of other spiritual practices? Lakhs of other types of sadhanas. For me, one sadhana is sufficient. That sadhana is chanting the names of Krishna. That's the mode of a devotee. So, Namani Anantasya. So, this boy is doing his wonderful sadhana by chanting the names of the Lord, chanting the Ananta names of the Lord, or chanting the names of Ananta Lord. Hatatrapaha, without any hesitation, without any shy. Right? Then, second is Pathan. Pathan means he's studying or doing part or reciting, right? Chanting the names is one thing. Chanting the names, smarana means uh, smarana means to remember the Lord. So pathan means to recite. So first thing is chanting the names of the Lord. Second thing is pathan. Pathan means you recite, repeatedly recite or read. Pathan also can mean reading or recitation, right? So part. So uh, chant the names of the Lord without any hesitation. Secondly, recite the mysterious and all auspicious, confidential glories of the Supreme Lord. Kritani means pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And smaran, that should lead to constant smaranam, right? Your chanting and your reading or your recitation of the Lord's names and pastimes should bring us to a stage where we are doing savyo na jatu chit sarve vidhi nishedhasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And these two statements are the essence of all the rules and regulations of all the scriptures. The essence of all the prescriptions and prohibitions in all the Shastras is to always remember Krishna. If you don't remember Krishna, whatever spiritual practices we adopt are like are Shramayeva hi kevalam. You want a sloka? Graphic sloka about this Maran by Mukundamala Stotra by Kulashekar Alvar. He says, Amnayabhyasananyaranyarudhitam Vedavratanyanvaham Vedaschedafalani Purta Vidhayaha Sarvam Hutam Bhasmani तीर्थानामवगाहनानि च गजा स्नानं विना यत्पद द्वन्द्वाम्भोरुह संस्मृतिं विजयते देवस्य नारायण. Amnaya abhyasanani means our study of different Vedic scriptures is aranya rodana, crying in wilderness. When somebody wanders into a forest and loses his way, he's always crying in pain, in fear. Oh, lion may come and attack me, tiger can come and eat me, python may swallow me. There's a lot of fear, right? A lot of anxiety and crying. So our recitation of scriptures is just like Aranya Rodana if you don't remember Krishna. It's not about, we are not trying to discourage someone to recite the scriptures or read the scriptures. We are saying that remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be the culmination of our Shastric study. If that aim is not achieved, then it's not very effective. That's the whole point. Amnayabhyasananyaranyarudhitam Vedavratanyanvaham Vedaschedafalani. Some people may do so many vratas, so many vows they take. They may do some fasting, some austerities. All these are just means to reduce the bodily fat. That's all. If you don't remember Krishna. Basically, all these austerities are supposed to uh, supposed to bring us closer to Krishna, make us remember Krishna. But if you are not remembering Krishna at the end of all these austerities, it's like Medascheda Falani will reduce the bodily fat. That's all. Medascheda Falani Purta Vidhayaha Sarvam Hutam Bhasmani. Purta Vidhis. You may perform some sacrifices. But performing sacrifices without remembering Krishna is like pouring ghee into ashes, nothing more than that. तीर्थानामवगाहनानि च गजा स्नानं विना यत्पदा. Tirthana means going to different holy places of pilgrimage. Our visit to holy places is as good as mm, elephant bath if you don't remember Krishna. Right? So whether we are doing sacrifices or performing austerities or studying the scriptures or going to pilgrimage places, the essence of all these spiritual activities is to remember Krishna, right? Smaran. See this word in the shloka, Smaran. You may chant the holy names of the Lord, you can read the scriptures, but ultimately we need to come to the level of Smaranam. By the way, even if somebody is not on the level of Smaranam, they should continue to chant the names of the Lord. One day, by repeated chanting of the names of the Lord with one's tongue and repeated hearing of those names, we will come to the stage of Smaranam. We'll eventually remember the Lord, right? Therefore, actively engage your tongue in chanting the names of the Lord, even though that's not immediately making you absorbed in remembrance of the Lord, eventually that will bring us to the state of remembrance. Right? This active senses will bring the subtle sense also under control. But just by reading, it's not, but just by chanting the names, uh, without so the person whose names we are chanting, we cannot get absorbed in that feeling. So we should know the person whose names we are chanting. We should hear about the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of the person so that we can chant with more enthusiasm, with more absorption. Just vibrating the name Krishna, 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 absorption. We'll be inspired to chant more and remember Krishna more. Srimad Bhagavatam. When we study Srimad Bhagavatam. When we study Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, it's not just Namani Anantasya. It is Pathan Guhyani Bhadrani Kritani also. So, first two lines are clear. We are discussing this one shloka in today's class. Namanyanantasya hatatrapah pathan guhyani bhadrani kritani chasmaran. Namani anantasya means you chant. This boy, Narada Muni in his past life, he started chanting the names of Lord Ananta. Hatatrapaha, without any hesitation, without any reservation, without any shy. He was chanting the names of the Lord. Secondly, what did he do? Pathan guhyani bhadrani kritani. Pathan, he is studying or reciting the guhya, confidential, bhadra, auspicious, kritani, pastimes of the Lord. And is also smaran, doing smaran, remembering the Lord. Then while doing so, he is traveling. Gam paryatam, he is traveling everywhere without any fixed residence. Of course, this sannyasi or a monk, someone in the renounced order can afford to do that. But all the other Vaishnavas, they can just stay at one place. You need not travel like this boy. Whatever he has done in the first two lanes, you can do. But Gam Paryatan, it's not mandatory for everyone to keep on traveling. Right? You can travel sometimes to some yatras, but you can be fixed in one place, but do the first two lanes. Then one more important thing. Now these are the practices. Chanting and reading and remembering, they're the practices. But with what mood are we supposed to do the practices? Tushtamanaha. Tushtamana means to be satisfied at heart. Very important point. Tushtamana means heart should be satisfied. If the heart is constantly hankering for the fulfillment of so many material desires, material ambitions, material aspirations, we cannot focus on the holy name of the Lord. You cannot study Bhagavatam sincerely. When the mind is constantly troubled with some material desires of whatever name, fame, prestige, this and that, we cannot focus on Harikatha. We cannot focus on Bhagavatam. Hmm. So, Gataspraha. Next point is Gataspraha. First is tushtamana, satisfaction. But how does this satisfaction come? Gata spruha. Spruha means attachments. Gata spruha means devoid of any attachments. Here are the don'ts. We have seen the don't do's. Here is a don't. Don'ts. Well, I will call them as ABCD. This is A. Gram Paryatan we are not counting at this moment. It's not mandatory for everyone. So let's give a number to this four. Right? Number one, chanting. Number two, reading. Number three, smaran means remembering. Number four, tushtamana, cultivating a satisfied heart. Clear? Four do's we have seen. Now let's come to the don'ts part. So tushtamana means being always satisfied with whatever you have, not constantly hankering for more and more material comforts. Don't do atyahara, don't do prayasa, definitely don't do prajalpa. But let's be satisfied with whatever we have. Mhm. And don't be satisfied in bhakti. Satisfaction must be with whatever comforts you have on the material plane. But in bhakti, however much you chant, don't be satisfied. Don't be satiated. Chant more. However, you remember the Lord, remember more. You may hear so much katha. Don't be satisfied with that. I want to hear some more katha, some more pastimes. So, in that, there should not be any quote unquote satiation. See, satisfaction is a very positive word. Satiation, right? Means you are done with it. I don't want anything more. Nahi, nahi, bas, bas, bas. So you come to a threshold point where you feel like I don't want to take more. Don't go to yoga. Don't go to gnana. Don't go to other paths. Be satisfied means be satisfied only with the path of bhakti. Exclusively be dedicated to the path of bhakti only and be satisfied in practicing spiritual life with bhakti only. This bhakti marga is sufficient. Bhakti yoga is sufficient. I don't have to explore other yogas. So in that sense, there is satisfaction. But in this bhakti, however much you practice, you feel like performing more. They're getting right. So be satisfied with the path of bhakti. For example, a South Indian is there. Mm. Like his favorite item may be dosa, right? You feed him dosa, he says, I'm satisfied with this one item. Don't bring paratha. Don't bring, what is that? Dokla. Don't bring other kinds of items of other dishes. I am satisfied with this one item, dosa. But he's satisfied with that one item, but he wants that item more and more. One is over, he wants second dosa, third dosa, fourth dosa, fifth dosa. In this item, I can eat unlimited, but I don't want any other item. Similarly, in bhakti, I'm giving a very crude example, sorry for that. In bhakti, in spiritual life, devotees are satisfied with only one exclusive path of bhakti yoga. They are not distracted by karma, gnana, yoga, tapa. So many other paths are there on the Vedic landscape, right? So devotees are not distracted by all these paths. Impersonal path is there, um, path of mysticism, but they are satisfied with this one path of bhakti. And this bhakti, however much they perform, there is no satiation, there is no satisfaction, right? So को नाम तृप्येत रसवित्कथायां महत्तमैकान्तपरायणस्य. Who will be satisfied by practicing bhakti? Yeah, bhakti gives satisfaction, but however much you practice bhakti, you feel like doing more. In that sense, there is no satisfaction. But in other ways, satisfied with only path of bhakti. That is four, tushtamana. Now let's come to the don'ts. Gataspraha, necessary attachments. In this material world, detachment is a very rare opulence to cultivate or attain. Even those who are practicing bhakti in the renounced order also sometimes may have certain attachments. There may not be attachment towards money. There may not be attachment towards Sundari. Dhanam Sundarim may be easy to transcend probably. But Janam, my God, very difficult to transcend. Attachment to Janam. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. Mahaprabhu says that, and we have, what is this? Sikshashtakam, we recite every time. Fourth sloka says, na dhanam. Okay, somehow a sadhaka may transcend attachment to dhanam. Okay, money, I'm not very attached. Fine. Na janam, oh, followers we need, right? So, yes, definitely we need followers of Krishna. not followers for one's own self. When a devotee is going out and preaching everywhere, mm, that preaching is meant to increase followers of Krishna. And whoever starts following the preacher, the preacher should think that they are following Krishna, not me. Right? If eh, if uh, if their coming to me is bringing them closer to Krishna, yes, I will allow them to come to me and assist them as in the humble mode of a servant. I will assist them in intensifying their spiritual practices. For that, I need to intensify my spiritual practice. So this is a big illusion. Sometimes we may think that I can help others in spiritual life, but unless we help ourselves in spiritual life, unless we are rooted in our sadhana, we cannot help others. Therefore, compassion, spiritual compassion exhibited on conditioned souls must be rooted in one's own spiritual practice done when we are rooted in our spiritual practices. So that's why he is doing this. Namani anantasya hatatrapah pathan guhyani bhadrani krutani smaran. He is doing his chanting. He is doing his pathan, recitation or reading. He is remembering the Lord, right? Uh, and Tushtaman is satisfied. Now, with this background, we can distribute to others. Gataspraha. Now, Prabhupada comments on this Gamparyatan very nicely. The mood of traveling. Let me just come to that. Ah, you see, 1 second. I will just. Uh, You're able to see the screen now? Here, Gamparyatan is traveling all through on the earth. So, what is the mode of traveling? Prabhupada writes. Can someone read this? Can someone unmute yourself? Are there any kids here? Younger generation? Yeah, Kishori, you can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mm.
Yes, Prabhuji. You can hear me?
Yeah,
The
purport.
life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narada Muni by his personal example. Such a devotee, after his initiation by the Lord or his bona fide representative, takes very seriously chanting of the glories of the Lord and traveling all over the world so that others may also hear the glories of the Lord. Such devotees have no desire for material gain. They are conducted by one single desire to go back to Godhead. This awaits them in due course on quitting the material body. Because they have the highest aim of life, going back to Godhead, they are never envious of anyone, nor they are proud of being eligible to go back to Godhead. The only business is to chant and remember the holy name, fame and pastimes of the Lord, and according to personal capacity, to distribute the message for others' welfare without motive of material gain. Hare Krishna.
According to one's capacity, thank you, Kishori. According to one's personal capacity, distribute the message of the Lord for others' welfare without any motive, personal gain, material gain. That's the mood of a devotee. Yes, this Gamparyatan is there. Means traveling to different places to distribute the message of the Lord, as the gopis of Vrindavan are personally saying. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapa श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः Shravanamangalam Srimadatam. They are distributing the message of the Lord everywhere. Such people are called Bhurida Janaha, very magnanimous, compassionate souls. But in doing so, there's no desire for personal gain. First thing is they are rooted in their own spiritual self. And with that root in their spiritual practices, they are distributing of the Lord, but not expecting anything in return. The only thing that a bona fide preacher expects from people is they should be rooted in bhakti. Please accept Krishna's gift in the form of holy name. Please accept Prabhupada's mercy. Please accept Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace. That's what you need to give me. I don't need anything else. That's the mode of a preacher, right? Preacher is one who sincerely takes pleasure in seeing people performing bhakti, coming closer to Krishna. That should give us joy. No desire for material gain, no desire for acquiring any material possessions, right? No desire to acquire any followers. Like you see, sometimes when somebody is preaching, others may follow, but the followership is towards Krishna, not to oneself. Now you see, when you are worshipping the deities, you are offering fragrant flowers to the deities. Sometimes your hands may also become fragrant. During Abhishek, we are taking some scented oil and applying the scented oil on the body of the deity, right? Have you seen that? When you are doing that, your hands also will be tainted by that oil, scented oil. But the purpose of applying oil on the Lord's body, Lord's deity, is not to make our hand fragrant. It is to serve the Lord, right? But while serving the Lord, your hand also may become fragrant, isn't it? But we are not supposed to be attached to, massaging our hand with the oil. We are supposed to be attached to massaging the Lord's body with this hand. Getting right? There's a difference. While massaging the Lord's body, your hand automatically becomes fragrant. Without touching the oil, you cannot massage the Lord's body. Right? You have to touch. Similarly, when you're trying to glorify the Supreme Lord, you may also be glorified. When you're trying to expand the glories of the Supreme Lord, people may glorify you also. When you're trying to bring people's attention towards Krishna, people may give you also some attention. But we should not be attached to that attention that we are getting. Because we are trying to glorify the Supreme Personality of God who is most famous. Because we are trying to glorify Krishna who is all famous, we may also get some fame. But that fame is not supposed to distract us or increase our pride. That fame is supposed to be utilized in Krishna's service. Madhavendra Puri, he became very famous. He wanted to serve the Lord. And the Lord started serving him by stealing that pot of Amrit Keli for him. And that made Madhavendra Puri very famous. But Madhavendra Puri never wanted this fame. But although he did not want that fame, fame came to him. And before he even reached Jagannath Puri, his fame has already reached Jagannath Puri. And as soon as he reached Jagannath Puri, people are there ready to welcome Madhavendra Puri. And they are ready to do whatever Madhavendra Puri wanted them to do. What did Madhavendra Puri do? He used all his fame in the service of Gopalji. He asked them, "You want to serve me? Don't serve me. Serve Gopal." By offering sandalwood. Then these devotees gave 40 kilos of sandalwood and some camphor and some money and an assistant and some government official release papers. And they did everything for Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri was royally sent back. So when Madhavendra Puri is getting some public attention and fame and recognition in public, he's using all of it in Krishna's service. But if there is even a tinge of attachment to that fame, tinge of spirit to enjoy that public attention, that's a distraction in bhakti. Right? So Gham Paryatan should be there, but Tushtamana should be there. But Tushtamana is not in public attention. I'm satisfied because I'm getting fame. That is not the real satisfaction. I'm satisfied because I am practicing bhakti. I'm satisfied to see others practicing bhakti. We should derive satisfaction in bhakti, not in the byproducts of bhakti. Right? So tushtamana, gataspraha means don't be attached towards anything in this world, whether it is dhanam or janam or sundarim or public attention or fame or whatever it is, don't be attached to that. It may come, it may be there, but you are not attached to it. You are not identifying with it. And you are using it in Krishna's service without overly identifying with it. So that is the mood of a devotee. Let's come to the last line. Sorry, I'm going slow. Kalam pratikshan vimado vimatsaraha. One more thing that we need to do is kalam pratikshan. Wait for the right time. Krishna will show his mercy. He will take us back to Godhead if he likes so. Kalam pratikshan, wait, never demand. We already discussed a little bit about it before, but this boy had the experience of seeing the Lord. isn't it? He had the experience of seeing the Lord, but the Lord withdrew his darshan. Now he wants to see the Lord once again. But the Lord said, do some sadhana, do some seva, isn't it? Therefore, he is doing namani anantasya tatra pathan guhyani bhadrani kritani chasparan gam paryatam tushtamanagata spraha. He is just following the instructions of the Lord without impatience. Kalam pratikshan, let me wait till the Lord gives the next darshan. Let me wait. Kalam pratikshan, pratiksha, is doing pratiksha. We should not be impatient. We should not demand. We should not feel a sense of entitlement. Because I am doing sadhana since 13 years, Krishna should give me darshan. Guru should give me attention. That's not the mood. We are beggars. Beggar cannot demand. Beggars can be choosers. Krishna, when would he reciprocate with us? That's his independence. We have used our independence to not surrender to him so far. For millions of lifetimes, we have misused our independence. We used the independence the way we wanted, and we chose not to surrender to him. Means you should give me your darshan, you should give me this mercy in this way, you should not allow me to undergo any difficulties, you should fulfill all my expectations, all my desires. Since billions of lifetimes we are wandering in the material existence, misusing our independence and neglecting Krishna, ignoring Krishna, just because we started the path 10 years back or 15 years back, picked up bead bag, and now also we are sleeping while chanting. How can we demand Krishna to show so much mercy? No demand. Kalam pratikshan. Wait. Wait till Krishna shows his mercy. It may take few lifetimes. It's okay. Compared to the number of lifetimes, the millions of lifetimes that we have spent so far in material world, spending few more lifetimes doing sadhana is not a big thing. And by the way, while doing sadhana also we're experiencing so much of bliss, isn't it? By chanting the names of the Lord, by worshipping the Lord, by hearing Harikatha, there's a lot of bliss even in sadhana stage also. Why should we be very impatient to get Krishna's darshan? So this boy, for a long time, he was doing his sadhana. The Lord made him wait. If Narada waited for such a long time to get the Lord's darshan, why can't we wait? Right? Kalam pratikshan. So, sense of entitlement kills gratitude. Sense of entitlement will not allow us to be grateful for whatever we have already received. Instead of demanding for mercy, demanding for attention from the Lord, we should be grateful for whatever the Lord has done so far. Right? There is a difference between demand and request. So never demand the Lord. Kalam pratikshan. Wait till he shows his mercy. And in the waiting time, you need to do chant nama, do some pathan, do some smaran, and do gam paryatan if it is possible for you, and be satisfied and avoid what? Attachments. This is a don't. There are two more don'ts. We are not done with the class yet. Two more don'ts. Vimado vimatsaraha. Mada means pride. You should be vimada. Don't be proud. Then vimatsaraha. Matsara means envy. Don't be envious. Don't be attached. Don't be envious. Don't be proud. Don't be impatient. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 don'ts. 4 do's and 4 don'ts. Clear? What are the 4 do's? Namani, chanting. Then pathan, reading or reciting. Then smaran, which is remembering. Then tushtamana means be satisfied. Right? Chanting, reading, remembering, satisfaction. 4 things. What are the 4 don'ts? Gataspraha, don't be attached. Kalam pratikshan, don't be impatient. Patiently wait. Then vimado, don't be proud. Vimatsara, don't be envious. So mada means pride. We should not be proud. If we are effectively practicing bhakti, that may induce some pride and arrogance in us. Let's not be arrogant. Let's not be proud. Then, if others are effectively practicing bhakti, we may feel they are doing better than me. There is a matsarya, there is envy. Many times, na, we don't become envious of devotees who are sincerely doing their sadhana. We become envious. An immature sadhaka becomes envious of another sadhaka when the other sadhaka is getting public attention, when the other sadhaka is getting privileges, when the other sadhaka is getting positions. Many times, envy is towards the external byproducts of bhakti. Oh, why is he made a manager? I am still an assistant. There is envy because of that. But when somebody is chanting, 64 rounds every day, generally there is no envy. There is only appreciation. Or the from a distance, Prabhu, you are very elevated. You don't feel any insecurity seeing such a person who is doing more sadhana. Right? But when they're getting power, position, privileges, public attention, fame, glory, you feel, why? I should get it. I should get it. Because the desire is towards material things more than spiritual things. If he is studying Bhagavatam so nicely, why don't you become envious of him and you also increase your study? Right? So instead of that's a very good way of becoming envious, right? Not exactly envious, but take inspiration from them. If they're doing more sadhana, chanting more rounds, doing more seva, be inspired by their humble service. If somebody is washing 100 pots, do you feel envious of them? It's a humble menial service, background service, hardly gets any public attention. Why can't we become envious of someone who is washing 100 pots in a day or 200 pots in a day? And why we become envious when 200 people are attending someone's lecture or 200 people are following in his kirtan? Why? Because there's an attention here, there's not much attention there. You see, many times the sadhaka's envy is directed towards another sadhaka when the other sadhaka is getting some public attention, some external uh, fame or glory or recognition or power or position. But we need to transcend that envy. Envy is very detrimental to spiritual progress. Envy, uh, like envy, pride, lack of forgiveness. So these are all very detrimental to spiritual progress. So Vimado Vimatsaraha, this boy is not envious of anyone, not proud of one's accomplishments. When somebody becomes successful in one's endeavors to perform bhakti, the thought in that person's mind should be that I am able to do this service only because of Krishna's grace, only because of the blessings of Guru and Vaishnavas and Acharyas. So credit belongs to them. Credit goes to one who has given me this opportunity. Credit belongs to one who has assisted me in this service. Credit also belongs to the beneficiaries. For example, you have given a class nicely. Others are hearing. If nobody is hearing, whom will you give? So credit goes to the hearers also, isn't it? You led Kirtan very nicely. If nobody is there in the Kirtan, where will you lead? There. You have to chant alone. So credit goes to the participants also. Uh, so Prabhupada, when he has written so many books, translated so many, and I don't have so much of scholarship. So that is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. So no pride. If we are successful in executing some service to Krishna, that success should not make us arrogant or proud. Vimado. And if we are not successful and others are successful, that should not make us envious. Right? There is no envy in the spiritual world. There is no envy in the spiritual world. There is no pride in the spiritual world. It is the humility and non-enviousness that will take us to the spiritual realm. Vimado Vimatsaraha. So this beautiful shloka is teaching us what to do and what not to do. The do's and don'ts of bhakti. What to do? Chant, read, remember, be satisfied. What not to do? Don't be attached. Don't be impatient. Don't be proud. Don't be envious. 4 plus 4. Nice, right? So this is what this beautiful shloka is teaching us. And Narada Muni, in his past life, he followed all this and he became Narada Muni. Thank you very much. I request all your blessings so that I follow the do's and avoid the don'ts. I should follow the do's and avoid the don'ts, not just speak about the do's and don'ts. So I need your blessings and prayers to be able to do it. And if I have done any mistake in presenting the shloka, kindly forgive me. So, with my humble obeisances, I'll conclude the session here. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Any questions?
I mean that present Krishna, you left to India.
No, I am now in what is this, Kannaya
Yeah. So thank you, Prabhuji. And the current situation continues. We will trouble you again and again.
No, you pray that situation doesn't continue.
No, we not to continue. And even you are in India also. Even you are in India also, we need your continuous association, Prabhuji.
Okay, that is fine. Thank you.
And we pray for your safety and